Hello, we are Team Night Owls. My name is Audrey.
My name is Ruchi.
I'm Claire.
I'm John.
And we are going to talk about our project.
For this competition, we needed to design a machine that would fit in a 1 by 2 by 1.5 foot box and perform 4 tasks: gathering shrubs, retrieving the Black Knight, putting the holy hand grenades of Antioch into the Beast Slayer, and gathering the Holy Grail. We decided to only pursue 3 of these tasks, disregarding the Holy Grail.
So for week 1 during this whole process, we had individual competitions to build our own machine that would smack the Black Knight out of our zone. Due to the fact that the only actuation power we had was due to 2 mouse traps, and they were quite unreliable, we decided not to use the mouse traps ever again. Week 2 was when we built our shrub arms. Our shrub arm design, our final design, is a lot similar to our original design. So we have a pneumatic piston that would smack out 2 arms that would fold out and grab hold of the shrubs and pull them in. Our final design was very similar to our initial design. In our initial design, we retracted the arms back on a slide, and for our final design, we retracted them via a slot. Week 3, the objective was to launch the holy hand grenades into the rotating beast's lair. To do this, we mounted a PVC pipe on drawer sliders, slid it out, and used a turnstile to essentially eject the grenades into the lair. In the end, we ended up replacing the turnstile with a neutral closed gravity gate, and we took out the PVC pipe and just made its own wooden track. Though we had thought up designs for the final task of retrieving the Holy Grail, we decided ultimately that it was better to pursue better scores in other areas due to the fact that we had no way of reliably retrieving the Holy Grail without it guaranteeing that it wouldn't fall into anyone else's group. This is our first design, Squire Miley.
Squire Miley uses a weight on the end of a rope to hit the Black Knight out of the team's quadrant, much like a wrecking ball. It uses breaststroke arms on rotating joints, like caster wheels, to scoop shrubbery, and also a telescoping arm to place holy hand grenades into the beast's lair. The telescoping lens egresses from the blast zone with the power of gravity through a falling brick. The Holy Grail collection would retrieve the cup by using a mousetrap catapult to lasso a string wire contraption over the Grail and pull it into our section with the help of the falling brick.
Here's our second design, Sir Swallow Savvy.
Sir Swallow Savvy's main design feature is it combines 2 tasks into 1 arm. The shrub T-arm is long enough to reach all the shrubs if it goes straight out, while the L-shaped scooper would retrieve the Dark Knight as the arm is retracted by a motor. Meanwhile, the hand grenade telescope arm is released and slides down to the beast's lair, and a clicker sensor sends a signal every time the wall goes by for the solenoid gate at the top to release a holy hand grenade. Finally, the mousetrap at the end sends a lasso flying around the Holy Grail, and when the telescope arm is retracted, the Holy Grail is pulled into the team's zone for the win.
This is our third design, Hug from a Page.
First, drawer sliders will reach downward and place a scoop ahead of the Black Knight. The scoop will then cradle the Black Knight, and the drawer sliders will return to the starting zone. The 2 arms will drop outward and be connected by a string. The string will then contract, likely through a motor, and pull the arms inward. This will create a gentle hug around the shrubs and push them into our zone. A pipe telescope will descend towards the beast's lair. Inside the pipe, a gate, which will be operated by a solenoid, will open and close in order to time the release of ping pong balls into the lair. A motor will then egress the pipe from the black zone. And finally, we have the Holy Grail, captured again by a catapult lasso. But here, it's going to be returned with the same motor as the pipe.
This is our fourth design, the Village Elder.
The Village Elder uses the same arm design from last week's lab competition, with a new mousetrap orientation and the same pneumatic start, but with the bar reinforced to prevent bending. The Village Elder has a stacked ensemble for the other 3 tasks. On bottom, an arm shoots out to scoop and push the Dark Knight out of the team zone. In the middle is the Holy Hand Grenade Launcher, on a drawer slider arm with a PVC grenade carrier at the end. Finally, on top is the J Holy Grail Grabber, which pulls the Holy Grail into the team zone for the win.
And here is our initial final design, Night Eagle.
In order to collect the Black Knight, a scooper descends towards it and lifts it. Then a motor will turn to place it back in the starting zone. In order to gather the shrubs, two arms will unfold and extend towards them. The same motor will pull these arms back to gather them in our zone. To launch the holy hand grenades of Antioch into the beast's lair, we'll use a pipe with a turnstile. As the beast's lair rotates, the ping pong balls will fall inside the beast's lair, and the same motor will once again safely return it from the blast zone. The other motor will be used to unwind a measuring tape, extending it towards the Holy Grail. It will then collapse under its own weight, which will be around the Grail, and the Grail will then be returned to our zone.
We used a number of different methods to decide which design would be the best, but our primary method of determining the best design was through testing. So in the end, we looked at our limited actuation powers when deciding what designs would be best. We also tried to use as much consistent material across the entire machine, so we used only 1/4-inch bolts, for example. Our final design for this competition was slightly different from the Night Eagle. As discussed before, we replaced the Black Knight scooper with a one-way hinge mechanism that would pick up the Black Knight while the drawer slider was egressing from the blast zone. In addition, you can see the slotted mechanism that we used to retract the shrub arms back. We also updated our design for the Holy Hand Grenade launcher. We used the force of the turning beast slayer to open the gate and release the ball. Since it's a neutral closed gate, it would snap shut after the wall passed. At the competition, we participated in 2 rounds, getting 4th place, then 3rd place. The first time, we got -13 points because our grenade arm got stuck on the Black Knight and cannot extend fully. In addition, the other teams collected all the shrubs. In our second round, we corrected these issues and we scored positive points because of the shrubs, but not enough to continue forward. As we look to the future, we hope to impart some of our knowledge that we've learned through this class onto the future generation of students. So we've created a wiki that anyone can edit as long as they have a Gmail. And hopefully, as the years go by, it'll get more populated with information regarding this course.
Thank you.